Hi, welcome to the next edition of Jank Tank. Today, we're going to be trying out Bant plot through some matches and see how this deck actually performs. I don't think this deck is going to be a huge competitor in the Pioneer format, but I am intrigued to see how it actually functions and to see if there is something here. So at the core of the deck, of course, is Valky and Bramble Familiar, which can hopefully get us a ley line of, Omniscience or potentially an Ulamog. So that's what we're going to be trying out. If you like janky decks like this, make sure you smash that like button. Subscribe. We're getting there, so let's make sure we bridge that gap and get a little more subs. And let's get into the deck list and see the deck in action. So we have 4 Jace Awakened. We have 4 Ley Line of Anticipation. So that way, hopefully, we can get a Jace down turn 2 on their turn, and then immediately plot on turn 3. We have Kellen as well. We could also, if we can get that at instant speed on their end step, that would be quite wonderful. Then we have Gaze and Seed of Hope. These are really good with Cosmetic Rebirth. So we could put it back onto the battlefield, which hopefully is a Kellen joins up. Now, we also we have Bramble Familiar, which works quite well in the deck, in conjunction with Valky, so we can plot them, cast the big spell half, and hopefully get a Ulamog on the board. Sideboard, we do have Damping Spheres for Lotus Field, 3 Unlicensed Hearse for Graveyard Heap. We have 3 Mystical Disputes for control matchups, Leyline of Sanctity for the Thoughtseize matchups. Then we have 3 Supreme Verdicts as a way to deal with aggro decks. So that is the list we're trying out today. It's pretty simplistic. We have a bunch of 4-ofs and 20 lands. So let's get into the deck. Let's get into the actual gameplay and see it in action. Firebluff Canal and passes. The weird Leyline Anticipation. Top deck. Play Confluence, they go. Plays a Steam Vents tap. Passes. Go ahead and play a Seed of Hope. Take Botanical Sanctum. And another Leyline. Play a Lands, they go. Could play a Valky, but plays a Steam Vents. Untapped. Shredder, and then an instant, probably, nope, no sleight of hand, so it doesn't even, okay. That's not a bad top deck, right? So we can attempt to go for a Kellen's Join Up, Spell Pierce, right, that resolves, they go. Another Shredder, and he impulses a Shredder, so that way he could bin a Phoenix, and another Phoenix, okay? Play the Pathway, and sleight of hand, but that's not enough to get your Phoenixes back. Attack speed for 2. Take it. Seems good. A Seed of Hope. Play a Jace. Uptick. A lot of Valky. Pass. Seed of Hope on his end step. Free the Fae. Opt. So that's 2 spells. And then consider. So that would be 12 points of damage coming across. Does any of them go at Jace? If he's taking out the Jace and then hitting me for 6, down to 11. We'll definitely play Valky minus Eden Arclight Phoenix. So we seed, get back a Kellen's Join Up, play Tybalt minus on Arclight Phoenix, play a Kellen's Join Up. That could actually be the enemy, right? That could be 4-4. It's 8-11. So very close to being over. So we do another Valky. Which, the downside of that is now he is less likely to want to be able to just attack my Tybalt. But if he doesn't, we can't minus. We get uptick, and then play another Tybalt. But if he double spells, it makes, 6, 10, okay. So he needs to trigger both of these, and give him both the counter, and he has Xaxes. Okay, Prophet, that's game. So this matchup, we have Mystical Disputes, and then we have Hearse. We might be able to just trim on these and the Ley Line of Sanctity, because it's not necessarily required. It just kind of increases our clock, but run it like that. Sanctum, Seed of Hope, take the coast, say go. Plays on Island, passes. We play Coast, play Hearse. You could have a Spell Pierce, but opt. Pass. Pathway on red. And passes, we eat the opt. Play the Thicket. Play a Gaze. Graveyard. graveyard, top, pass. So canal, and passes. So we gaze again. That stinks. So bend those two and keep the rebirth. Play the maze, graveyard, pass the turn. Coast, shredder. And just passes? What is he waiting for? We'll get back a maze. Attempt to, at least. Yes, put it in the battlefield. Top. And we untap. Play the land. So we could pay for a Spell Pierce. Attempt to go for a Kellen. Negate. Pass the turn. We are 1 mana away from the quest. Plays an island. And a profit. Hits me for 2. Eat up the negate. Untap. Jace. Play that said Jace. Uptick Jace. And do the Bramble Familiar. Say go. We have whiffed and got rid of 2 Ulamogs. So we do have less of a shot here. Bounces my Jace. Crackles. I do kind of wonder, would it be interesting if Crackles, you try to make Crackles like the old version where there used to be that hasting thing that you could buy back way back when in the same block, I believe. I wonder if that could be used inside of Phoenix. Eat the Phoenix. Hits me for 6. I am kind of worried about my position, like I said, just because there's less big hits here off this Bramble. We did manage to find the Ulamog, though. That does mean we get to trigger his Ledger Shredder. Am I dead in the air, though? That is the question. So I definitely want to uptick my Jace and hopefully get out of... Okay. Dispute is not necessarily great, but could be worse. Play the Bramble. I could crew. This does not have reach. So we'll attempt to offer a trade and pass the turn. He does have me on a 2-turn clock. So I do need to be able to kill something relatively fast. Otherwise the Shredder is just going to win the game. Arclight Phoenix. So that's 14 points of damage. And he Gust there. I'll just attempt to dispute. I'm not sure if that's worth it, actually. I mean, so 9, 12, 7. Okay, that is the exact C's. Yeah, we did not assemble the Ulamog fast enough. So 0-1. Let's get into the next. Go, stay, go. Hollow Fountain tapped. So probably control. I don't think I want to give him any sort of insight. So I'll just pass. Oh, Brushland. So this could be spirits. No. Invasion of Ixalan. Okay. I see. Like Kellen's showing up. Do a Bramble. Say go. Another Brushland. And double green for a Stomper. I see. So we would do fetch quest. Take the Ulamog. Play a tapped land. Cast Bramble. And pass. He's playing Yorion. Is he playing like a domain? No, that would be weird. He has Brushlands. That could be a thing, right? Domain ramp with Yorion. Plays a Plains. Greatza. Is it a Hallelujah? It is a Hallelujah. Mimic. Copying the Stomper. He could start blocking with Stompers now. We have 6 mana. We're so far away from Omniscience. I do have tons of gazes, though. So at this point, I'm just going to be going for the Familiar. So we'll attack with Ulamog. Eat 20 cards. And he still has more cards in his deck than I do. Kind of funny. Cascading Cataract. That tells me he probably plays Golos. Skyclave Appetizers to eat the Bramble. Probably going to attack in face. Interesting. And a Watley. Charming Prince. To blink the Stomper. He is rampant hardcore. Scry. So we're going to gaze twice. Graveyard. Graveyard. Top. And that is interesting. Top. 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 Play the Jace. Uptick. Do Bramble. Play a tap land. Say go. No attacks. Picks up Yorion. and plays that Yorion? Possibly. Looks like he's just going to go... You gonna attack? Does. Everything at face. We block a Stomper. We're at 2, which is not a high life total. Plays a Yorion. So we gaze. So we need something really good. So Rebirth, Graveyard. Top, top. Everything comes back. He's going to exile my Jace, which is a good choice. He could have a Leyline Binding for the Ulamog, which would be really bad. So we fetch quest. Maybe I should have attacked. So I think I just do this to get a counter everywhere. Eat 20 cards. I don't see a way to win this one. The Yorion, I was going to keep blinking. Okay. Play another fetch. Yeah, we're just dead. Only if I had more mana. Okay. Scoop it up. I think I just bring in these. Trim back on these. And bring in disputes. I don't like that. Play a coast, say go. Plays a brush land and a grazer. It is a hallelujah, which it should be this early in the game. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and cast a Bramble Familiar, say go. Farmland. Archon. Jace is interesting. I can't do Supreme Verdict. I don't have enough white mana. So I think I just pass. Counter it. Plays a brush land. And hits me. That is not helpful. The turn is this turn 4 now. So I could Jace. Uptick Jace. On Bramble. And pass. Look at if I'm not casting the spell. So shouldn't matter. Risen Reef. Tapped Hollow Fountain. You attacking me, not Jace. That's good for me because I do want to draw out of this situation. So we attempt to fetch quest. Put a Ulamog into play. Go looting. Get rid of a Kellen's join up. And pass. Invasion. Counter it. Or you could pay. Which is a win-win for me. Sure. Passes. We draw a land. That's helpful. So we attempt to pick it up. Discarding Ulamog. And plot it. Shove in there. Probably going to chump with the Grazer. Again, no second white source for the Supreme Verdict, though. Glasspool Mimic. On a Risen Reef. Maybe he just didn't like the downside for himself. He's planning on casting multiple spells this turn. Evolution. Oh, is this Vannifar combo? Elish Norn. So it gets double landfall triggers. First things first, uptick. Attempt to draw. Cast the Bramble Familiar part. Take an Omniscience. And attempt to shove. Chumps. Now I should be able to Supreme Verdict. And win with an Ulamog. Hits my Jace to 1. And exiles my Ulamog. Plays a Temple Garden. And a Stomper. Cast Rebirth. Even though I don't have to pay the mana. We could just bring back a Ulamog. Yeah. Cast a free Ulamog. Got it. Run it back. Headquarters and passes. So we play Maze. Bramble. Guest top. Say go. Forest. Charming Prince. Cast a Bramble Familiar. Say go. Risen Reef. Attacks. No, we'll just take it. Go to combat. Shove. Say go. Another Risen Reef. Counter it. Headquarters. Attempt to gaze. Top. 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 So I want the second white source for the Supreme Verdict. Take 3. Play Kellen's join up. So do this, the Familiar. Play a land. Shove. Say go. Invasion. Plays a brush land. What else you doing? Mimic to the Reef. Sure. Finds a land. Hits me for 3. Or actually hits the Invasion for 3. Draw the coast. So I think first things first, I want to be able to check. So we'll gaze. Graveyard. Graveyard. I think graveyard too. None of those things actually are great off of a Bramble. So we'll do Omniscience. Play a free... Oh, that's right. It's not free. Play a Bramble. And shove. So another Invasion. So we can pick up a Familiar no matter what we draw here. and then immediately go off again. Okay, Inspector, and eats a single familiar. Probably this one. So it hits me for 3 and hits the invasion that's about ready to flip. So we're going to go ahead and discard the Omniscience. Cast a free Supreme Verdict. And then cast a free fetch. Take a Ulamog. Cast Bramble. And pass. Invasion of Ikoria. X3? So he's getting another one of these? Or Largella? Rella? To eat my Ulamog. Scoops it up. 1-1. Let's get into the next. Thicket, Seed of Hope. Pass. Forest passes. So we drew a land. So I'm less worried about this gaze. Let's do top. Snow-covered island. Cobra. Passes. Play Kellen's Join Up. Valky. Say go. Mystic Sanctuary. Interesting. Nissa. Pretty good magic card. Hits me for 2. Take it. Cast the Tibble. Uptick. Play the Coast. And I guess eat the Cobra. Say go. Aftermath Analyst. Hits my Tibble. Play a Maze. Top that. Uptick Tibble. Play the Jace. Go Looting. Omniscience. Say go. Hits Tibble down to 2. Now we uptick Jace for Bramble Familiar. Uptick Tibble. Cast Nissa. And I can't cast my other spell, so pass the turn. Picks up Yorion. Play the land. It's actually kind of helpful, I guess. Fetch with Bramble. Take it Omniscience. Play the Bramble. Go ahead and cast Ulamog. Eat these 2. Got it. So I guess Graveyard Heat. And maybe a couple verdicts. Down 1 seed. Run it like that. Storefront. And gets an island. So we play Maze. Top that. Say go. Aftermath. So we play Gaze. Think everything's graveyard here. Play a Maze. Graveyard. Say go. Hits me to 19. Mountain. Rebirth. I guess a Mana Confluence. Seed. Take a Valky. Say go. Fable Passage. Cracks it. Or Plains and plays an Omnath. Sure. Hits me to 22. We draw a land. Not the worst top deck. No more lands, at least not for a little bit. So we'll gaze, see what we're drawing. Hearse. Probably don't need 2 hearses. So we'll go ahead and drop down, I think, the Bramble, so that way we could ramp into a Tybalt. And say go. Plays a Swamp and gains 4 life. Bring to Light. For his own Valky. Eats my card. Shoves. Take it. Jace. That is interesting. Play that, said Jace. Uptick. For Valky. And pass. So upticks the Tybalt. Gets my Ulamog. Nissa. So our best case scenario, I think, here is we're going to block the Bramble. Return it. So we can use it for Jace. Roll Rage. On the Jace. Binding. Okay. Plays my Hearse. And shoves in there for 5. Take it. We're probably going to be dead to this World Soul's Rage. So we play Tybalt. Minus on Omnath. Play that set Omnath. And pass. I think I'm just going to scoop. Run it back. Thicket. Say go. Definitely probably shouldn't have kept this hand. I have no blue mana. Plays a Storefront. Gets an island and passes. A Jace. Play Hearse. Eat the Storefront. Say go. Hideout. For a Forest. Passes. There's the blue mana. So we gaze. Top. Say go. Plays a Snow Cover Plains. Picks up a Yorion. We eat the Hideout. So we draw our blue source. Play Jace. Uptick Jace. For Bramble, say go. Plays a snow-covered island. And passes. Uptick Jace on the Valky. Play fetch. Do I take Ulamog or do I take Omniscience? I think I take Ulamog. Play the Bramble. Deluges. We pass. Nissa. Fable Passage. Cobra. Cracks the Fable Passage. Eat up both of those cards. And Gaze. Top. Graveyard. Top. Maybe I shouldn't have done it that way. So I guess I had to keep the Kellen joins up for a buffer. So that way I could hit the Bramble. I could hit that off of the fetch. Aftermath. Sure. So we played Tybalt. Minus on Aftermath. Scoops it up. 2-1. Let's get into the wrap up. So we do want to speak about this deck. Overall, like, it is very fun to pilot. It may appear to be very linear, but it definitely has different avenues to keep the deck a little spicy as you play it for your FNM. I don't necessarily think this deck is an RCQ style deck just yet. We need a little bit more pieces printed at standard to make this actually a legit competitive deck. Now, what I think this deck actually wants is something that can bring card advantage, like with Omniscience, right? So, like, because even if we get Omniscience down, we're just so already, we could potentially just not have cards in our hand to make it worth our time. And we only have really one payoff, which is Ulamog. So if there's ever a world where we can find either one, a payoff that actually draws more cards, or two, an Omniscience that could actually provide card advantage as well. There is the other card, like the Behold the Multiverse, not Behold the Multiverse, but there is that 8-drop, right? That could also work, but you only get one free spell per turn. But you also get to play a card off top of your library. Could be a possibility. If you have any considerations at all, let me know down in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification before you head out that door. And until next time, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon.